It's 107.7 The Bone, Baby Huey and Bimbo Jimbo here. Jimbo, we're coming to you live from Radio Row for WrestleMania 34 this Sunday on the WWE Network, and we're here with another special guest.
That's right. We are here with WWE color analyst extraordinaire. Is he this generation's Jesse Ventura? I think so. He's phenomenal. We are joined by Corey Graves. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. I don't deserve those sort of accolades yet. I need to be here for about 20 more years to get to that level, but I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're doing great work. How's it been treating you so far?
It's insane. I'm incredibly busy, as you guys might expect, but it's fun, man. It took a long time. I always say I went around the world to get across the street. But, you know, I'm here and I'm doing the thing, and now I'm the one man tasked with calling all of WrestleMania, all 7 hours of it or whatever. So it's going to be interesting.
Prepare the pipes for that.
Whiskey.
Okay, good move.
That's usually my that's
doctor
my go-to.
recommended.
Yeah, I'm a real professional when it comes to that. Some people drink tea and honey. I go straight for the Jack.
Okay, Jack was good.
Yeah,
you look like
well,
a Jack
I'm kind of a bourbon nerd now. I've learned that.
Okay, that's pretty all the rage.
It's relatively new, so I'm still like I hate to use the word expert at anything, which I am far from, but I am a fan. I am a fan of beer. I am a fan of whiskey. So I just like to try
things in life.
I wouldn't even. Yeah, exactly. But whiskey is always kind of my go-to, because anytime you feel like you're getting a little rough, a little scratchy in the throat,
loosens it up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Also, if you're just cold, a little little shot warms you up
or
too.
just because it's Tuesday
and it's
also
tasty. Yeah, exactly.
You know.
And it's WrestleMania. Why not? You mentioned how busy you are.
Yeah.
What has that been like, sort of carrying the load for both Raw and SmackDown? Like, that's sort of unprecedented. And how's that been?
It's actually, in a weird way, I think it's easier in the grand scheme of things for me, because I'm just so immersed in all things WWE. I don't have time to forget about stories or what happened, because that's my world. You know what I mean? I know I don't take notes. I don't hardly prepare unless there's something specific that I know I need to accomplish. I just kind of get to go out there and be a fan for 3 hours and 2 hours at a time, or this Sunday 7 hours, which by then I might not be a fan anymore. It's going to be a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
It's going to be a lot. But yeah, it's again, this is like something it was never a goal. It was just something I was tasked with, and I figured let's just try to hit home runs. And now I've grown to love it and have, you know.
I was going to say, I was just curious for you making that transition from the ring to the commentary side. Was it kind of hard at first, because you're like, I was just in there, but now I'm like right on the outside looking in, but you're very much involved?
Yeah, 100%. I still have that. I mean, I came up with the generation of guys. It's like, I mean, Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, these guys that are the business right now, Roman, all these guys. So there's definitely always a part of me that's like, man, I remember taking bumps with these guys, but at the same point, I feel like it lends itself to my job, because I have personal relationships with these guys, and I know them as human beings and as characters, because I've watched them develop. I remember being down there in Dusty Rhodes' promo class with these guys, and Dusty still is so invaluable to what I do now, because he had just a different outlook on the business, and I try to borrow a little bit of that. And so knowing these guys and coming up the way I did, I definitely think it lends itself to me having some sort of success at this. But at the same point, I still just try to be one of the boys, you know?
Yeah. Well, we love Dusty Rhodes, and I know you just mentioned. Can you talk a little bit more about just what he meant for your career, maybe the best piece of advice he ever gave you, what he said to you?
I could sit and talk about Dusty all the time, man. I mean, for days. He meant the world to all of us. And best piece of advice is something, Goldust will tell you this, just keep stepping. No matter what happens, just keep stepping. That was his motto, man. But just so many different ways to look at the business and to look at it like a movie, and as opposed to pro wrestling.
Yeah.
And I literally, there's not enough time in the day to teach, to run through all the things that he taught me. But I'll never forget the first time I did a panel for NXT. I got done, and Dusty goes, "Baby, you're doing great. Sit up straight. You're too handsome to slouch." And I went, well, that's it. Because he would never not shoot you straight. He would make you feel good, but it'd just be like, bam, don't forget. I go, wow, this is the dream, man. I miss him all the time.
Yeah, we do too, absolutely. That's a great story, though. You mentioned relationships too earlier, and one of my favorite things when you're on commentary is hearing you rip into Byron Saxton. What is your relationship actually like? And just talk about that a little bit.
Byron is one of the most stand-up, incredible human beings I know. He is awesome. He is a saint. He also has a skill for being a fall guy. he sets himself up sometimes, and you go, you couldn't have possibly just done that. Like, I have to take this shot. And I think he sort of enjoyed it. It's a great duo, right? I mean, every great anything sort of comedy, yeah.
He takes shots at me all the time. Like, okay, well, you always, anytime I screw up, I never hear the end of it from him.
Right.
Well,
absolutely.
You got to bring him down a peg a little bit. You got to take the shot.
Yeah, no, but no, he's one of the best dudes I know.
Okay.
I mean, I love him to death. But he does. I mean, sometimes he annoys me, and I got to let him know.
Well, just going off that, I mean, you were in a lot of the dirt sheets, a couple months, the whole thing with Booker T and stuff. So just curious, how'd you guys kind of plan that all out?
There was no plan for that whatsoever. No, I swear to God, I was in, I don't remember what city, Green Bay or somewhere. It was the Super Bowl Sunday.
Okay.
And I took a nap.
Okay.
And I woke up and I had a text from Big E. And he said, "What's going on with you and Booker?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he sent me a link. I heard the audio. Once I heard it, I knew from that point on it was Booker just goofing.
Yeah.
Like that. I've spent so much time with him. He's another one, man. He's taught me so much about even the broadcasting into things, and taught me hints. And I love Booker to death. And as soon as I heard the inflection in his voice, I went, "Oh, he's messing around." But it had taken off already. Like, Corey Graves, Booker T takes shots at Corey Graves. So I responded on Twitter. This is without even speaking a word to Booker.
Okay.
I sent out a tweet. I quoted The Art of War.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
And that blew up. People were, "Oh God, this is real. This is back and forth." So I was at TV that day, and Booker calls me. And for a minute there, I'm like, "Oh man, maybe I did
misread
something to
the
him."
situation.
Yeah. And he goes, "Hey man, can you believe USA Today picked up on this?" He just starts naming and he's laughing. And at no point did he even feel the need to explain to me. Like, it was understood. He knew, I knew he was screwing around. But it was just nuts, the life that it took on from just two buddies just goofing off. Like, there was no goal, there was no plan. We weren't trying to accomplish anything. Booker had 10 extra minutes on his radio show to waste time, and started messing around. And I probably would have never heard it if it weren't for someone that posted it online or something. And but hey, who knows? There's no such thing as bad publicity, right?
Thing of beauty, and that's one of the things you mentioned, how you just sent out a tweet. One of the things I look at is sort of like the evolution of what this industry is, and social media is such a huge part of that. Is that something that is sort of talked about amongst us? Like, how can we more incorporate that? And because wrestling fans, we love the is it real is like the sort of the stuff of magic with this,
Right.
And is the social media sort of that next step, is doing more of that?
I think so. I mean, it's definitely no secret that social media is the next step as far as just media as a whole. I mean, that's where the world's going. That's how people consume things now. You no longer do you don't buy VHS tapes anymore. You just click a link and there's your movie.
Don't even buy DVDs anymore.
Right. So our company's, I think, kind of on the forefront of that, and we have a whole team, an incredible team that studies social media and follows it and tries to come up with strategies for how do we best utilize it. It's fun, man. But it's fun for us when we can kind of make you ask that question.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing. We had no goal. It was Booker, when it started taking off, we were just laughing to ourselves. Man, can you believe how many people are friends of mine, personal friends of mine, were calling and texting me going, "Dude, what's going on, dude? Like, does Booker want to fight you?" And I'm just, and I didn't.
Did they want to back you up, or they're like?
I think they just want to know when the funeral would be. They were like, "Yeah, no, I'm sorry, man. It's been cool knowing you. Booker's going to take you out." No, but I think social media it's a fun tool. But at the same point, what I hate is everyone's accessible anymore. Mm-hmm. There's no more movie stars, no more. You know what I mean? Everyone's like, "Oh, this is what I think about this person. I can contact them."
Everyone has a voice now,
right? And again, it's cool for the most part.
Yes.
But at the same point, like, kind of kills some of the mystique, no matter
what,
doubt.
No, that's an interesting thing. So is WWE, like, maybe, is there any thought of ever like, hey, don't be on social media to sort of like keep that alive? Or is it like, hey, this is an unstoppable force, we just got to roll with it?
I think it's a person by person basis. And I think the company realizes, again, how valuable something is. And if you have, 300, 400,000 Twitter followers, anything that you put out there, it can be used as a proper tool,
Yeah.
To me, like the thought that, like the Bludgeon Brothers tweet, I hate it. I don't want that to happen. They're savages. They're not supposed to know how to tweet. They should have cell phones.
No doubt.
They're killers. But this day and age, you have to. It's a necessity. So just make the best of it.
Last one for you. I know
Yep.
it's a busy day. WrestleMania 34 here in New Orleans, the birthplace of WrestleMania 1. Daniel Bryan making his much-anticipated comeback.
Yeah.
What was that like for you as somebody whose in-ring career was cut short due to injury? I mean, just how excited are you for him, and just sort of like, just take us through that sort of emotion.
So I was as blindsided as anybody. I was in the meeting 5 minutes before the news went out. It's tough. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I had mixed emotions because part of me is going, well, what about this? But after a good solid week of reflection and figuring out options, etc., I'm like, you know what? He was always that Daniel Bryan is best in the ring. That's what he does. Again, this was never my plan. It was never ideal, but turns out this might be where I'm best served for the business anyway. So I'm stoked for Bryan. He's a great guy. I'm happy to see that he, he's been fighting this since day one. And so he won, and I'm stoked for him to come back, and it's going to be that Superdome's going to be unreal. I can't wait.
I can't wait to hear the reaction.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. So encourage everyone back home in the Bay Area, make sure watch WrestleMania 34.
Hey, check this out. I'm going to throw a plug in here because this is what I do.
Okay, sure.
WrestleMania is free for new subscribers. If you are not a member of the WWE Network, go to WWENetwork.com right now. Start your free trial and get WrestleMania for free. Free. Look at that. I'm ingrained in this. I do this in my sleep.
Well, Corey, listen, thank you so much for making the time today. We really appreciate it. And catch Corey every Monday and Tuesday night on Raw and SmackDown Live, respectively. And just keep killing it. We love everything you've been doing.
Phenomenal work.
Thank you, guys. Much appreciated.
Thank you.